All right, we're live.
Hello, everyone. It is April the 18th, Thursday. And I guess you all know today the Attorney General Barr had a press conference and announced the release of the Mueller report. I guess you all know today. And we are going to go over a little bit about it, but I want to make it very clear. Some of the things we're going to talk about are going to seem a little complicated, I fear. So this will be the perfect day. If you have questions or comments, start getting them in now. If you have questions or comments. Now, here's my opinion. My opinion is Robert Mueller did exactly what I thought he would do. I've told y'all repeatedly that he would leave nuggets in this report when it was released, that although we cleared him of collusion and found no proof, he can't declare him innocent of obstruction of justice, so he didn't charge him. But Mueller did worse than that, than just leaving nuggets. Mueller left a direct message to the Democrats to start their impeachment. Now, what do I mean? First off, obstruction of justice, that has been completely ruled shut. The door is closed on that, on collusion. But obstruction of justice, what he did very tactfully, he said he could not find enough. While he did find, as he has done, while he found some interesting things which could be considered evidence, there was not enough evidence to prosecute. They couldn't be held as solid evidence enough to prosecute. So what's wrong with what he did? Well, what he did is he changed the standard of law. You know, I've told you over and over again, they have weaponized law. They've weaponized the legal system. And that's exactly what he did. You see, what he ruled, if you cut through all the rules, he ruled that he could not find proof that Trump was innocent of obstructing justice. And he kept in there enough testimonies and statements of suggestive material, celestial material, to be bothersome with the media and to the public. But you see, the standard law is a prosecutor is not to prove somebody innocent. A prosecutor's job is to prove beyond any shadow of any doubt guilt. Not the innocence, but guilt. You can't prove a negative. Nobody can. That's why you don't do it. That's why our founding fathers ruled you're innocent until proven guilty. That's why that was done. But what Mueller did is he said, look, from a legal perspective, as the Attorney General is concerned, and Barr did not act in the favor of Trump, nor did he act in the favor of the Democrats. Mueller acted actually properly. He went by the letter of the law the way it's meant to be, which is proof beyond any shadow of any doubt. Not proof that he didn't commit a crime. Proof that he did commit a crime is what Barr looked at and said there was nothing as did Mueller. But what Mueller did is he said, in as much, I'm paraphrasing, that from a legal perspective, a prosecutor's perspective, there was not enough to prosecute, but that it should be looked at through some other type of court. What does he mean there? He means impeachment. He is sending it to Congress for them to decide whether or not he obstructed justice. Now, how could they possibly find President Trump guilty of obstructing justice? Well, number one, in accordance with the letter of the law, even by Mueller's standings, they couldn't. But you see, when it gets to, when it goes to the House and an impeachment inquiry, they don't have to go by the rules of law. They don't. And they won't, I assure you. So what they did and what they will do is they will look at one word in the law having to do with obstructing justice. And this word is key to the whole thing. Endeavor. Endeavor. And in the letter of the law, it does state that if a person does something to obstruct, gets in the way of justice, that's guilty. But it also uses this phrase: if someone endeavors to obstruct justice, endeavor. Kind of like conspire to obstruct justice. But it doesn't meet the standard of conspiracy. It even doesn't reach that standard, so they will use the word endeavor. How does that work? Well, the way that's going to work is he asked his attorney, Mannix or Lance, I can't remember his name, he asked him to get Sessions to not recuse himself. And he got another guy, Corey, what's the name, Dotsky, to try and get him to get Comey to talk up the fact that he was not a part of the investigation having to do with collusion. So the fact that he asked those people to do that, they're going to claim that meets the standard of endeavor. But let me tell you why that should not work in a regular court of law. President Trump was being accused daily of committing treason, of being a traitor. I mean, it was everywhere. And he was right. And one of the statements, although he used a curse word and said, you know, they'll destroy his presidency or I'm done, you have to put yourself in his shoes. And since his attorney, you should have client attorney privilege, right? He should have client attorney privilege. What he asked his attorney shouldn't be public information. But it is. So you're going to hear the Democrats claim day in and day out that President Trump did obstruct justice. So much so that they are going to first call in to testify, Mueller. They want to hear his words. Well, that's even stupid because the whole report, if you know what you're doing, you should know that the whole report that is out right now, 400 some odd pages, that is Mueller's words. That's not Barr's words, that's Mueller's words. But it's going to impeachment. Schiff and Nadler have got everything they need to impeach President Trump. Every bit that they need, they now have. Thank you, Robert Mueller. He and his henchmen successfully did what they were known to do. They were able to do it. So how do you like that? So what's coming next? The impeachment's coming. All they'll dance with it for a few months, few weeks possibly. They'll call and have some damaging hearings. But the whole point is to simply have President Trump in an impeachment process while he's trying to run his campaign. It will be almost an impossible task, almost impossible, for him to dodge the constant forays in the media of things that are going to be hitting him. Every day it's going to be something. Every day it's going to be something. It's going to be something else somebody said. Remember, the evidence doesn't have to meet the standard of law and court. This is going to be a public hanging. This is going to be where the media gets to be the jury in the trial. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. And that puts the onus back on us. There's nothing serious going to come of the impeachment. Nothing. I can tell you today what the outcome's going to be if it goes all the way through the impeachment process. The House is going to vote almost straight line ticket, Democrat versus Republican, and since the Democrats have control of the House, he will be voted to be impeached. And it will go to the Senate. Now, the cute trick about that is, by the time it gets through all of that and goes to the Senate, by the time it would ever come to a Senate trial to out him as president, the election will have come and gone. If he wins the election, he should be safe. But should he win the election and the Democrats take control of the Senate, even if he wins the election, if the Democrats get control of the Senate, guess what? He will be outed. They will put him out of office. So this is getting serious fast. What are they going to do? What is Trump going to do? Is he going to sit back and let them batter him all over again? Is he going to sit back and let them bludgeon him every day? I don't think so. Now it's up to the Republicans, the real Republicans, the conservative, the true Republicans. They're going to have to move now forthwith with an offensive plan instead of defensive. I can tell y'all that in the next months, now it's not going to be days, it's not even going to be weeks. We are talking months. But in the next 6 to 8 months, the Republicans are going to start an effort offensively to get to the bottom of all of this. The ones that need to be investigated are the investigators. The ones that need to be investigated for collusion is Hillary and the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton campaign. You have the prosecutors, unbelievably, this is unbelievable, you have the prosecutors in Ukraine who have begged Mueller and them to take evidence they have of direct collusion with the Clinton campaign. But they didn't take it, they wouldn't take it. The Republicans, in their offensive, Lindsey Graham and the rest of them, they are going to take it. It's going to leave, when this thing's all said and done, if Republicans stay the course, if they get weak-kneed, if they feel like we're not out here supporting them, if they bow down to the media pressure, if they bow down because they're in election season, which makes them dangerous for us right now, if this election spooks them to the point where they think they'll lose their job, they might back off of this offensive. And if they do, so we are going to have to make sure that they understand if they want to keep their jobs, if they want to keep their jobs, we expect them to investigate the investigators and get to the truth behind this whole matter. There's one line, I saw it last night, one of the guests on Hannity's program. Can't remember the guy, but he's done a lot of reporting, a lot of the true reporting. And he brought back to mind a strong text. And this is a text early on. And he was sending something to that page one. And it said, the White House is all in on this. That is significant, folks, because that means starting this investigation into Trump, starting this investigation designed specifically to beat him in his campaign, in other words, to rig the campaign, and eventually to become a coup attempt against the president. This all started way, way earlier in Papa Doc. And it goes back. President Obama himself. President Obama himself. If we don't get to the bottom, if we don't get to the truth of what happened to President Trump that caused all of this, and folks, I assure you, that which we know and have known as America is dead. Dead. What they have done, President Trump's crime, what they have done, the coup attempt, and I'm talking about the high-ups in the FBI justice, all of them, Clapper, all of them, Brennan, all of them, Obama, what they have done is criminal at a level we've never seen in this country before. And today is a day that it either stands or it gets stopped. But you rest assured, you, every one of you listening to me right now, and me, we've got a stake in this. And we're going to have to be involved. Whether you want to be or not, you are going to be involved. It's not going to happen, the good stuff that you would want, the investigations into Uranium One and the Clinton Foundation and the collusion by the Ukrainians with the Clinton Foundation, all of that's not going to come as fast as you want, but it's coming. It's coming. But you must not tire. You must not get frustrated. And above all else, you better not quit and give up. Do you hear me? Are you on board to try and save this country?
Larry, please comment on a statement that just came in. If they remove Trump, there will be war.
There will not be war if they remove Trump. If they remove Trump, it'll be because we, the people, are so weak-kneed, so uninvolved, that we didn't do anything to stop it. And so when it happens, why would I or anybody else believe that all of a sudden, since we didn't do what we should have done to help this man be our president and to help defend our country from this type of tyranny, what on earth would make anybody believe that if we don't do anything now in these moves, just dear God, tell me how in the hell there's going to be war? So in the hell's putting that crap out?
Well, I think that's what I was telling you a little earlier, that, people are saying, I got my guns, I'm ready to fight, let's get this on. And do you remember what your
Real. Who are you going to shoot? Who is this war between? You know, we talk about the government like the government is this big bad entity. It's a bunch of jack-footed thugs. Well, some are. And some at the highest levels are crooked as snakes. They're dirty. They're dirty cops. They're crooked. I know that. But the government's made up of us. The policemen you'll be shooting at our neighbors, our friends. Don't tell me that stuff. Don't tell me that stuff. Don't do it. Don't even do it. By the way, if it does get to that, we are in martial law anyway, and we're going to martial law and everything we're fighting to do, which is to protect the integrity and keep in place the United States Constitution. We'll have laws because we will no longer be serving under or operating under the Constitution. We'll be under a dictatorial, provisional form of government. And I assure you, once that form of government is started, we will never get our constitutional form of government back. Now, y'all need to quit dreaming about this crazy stuff. That's crazy. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. And if you're telling me that there's going to be so much tension between the blacks and the illegals that maybe they're going to rise up and we're going to have riots and shooting back and forth between quote unquote what they call white nationalists and the black racists and the illegals, that might happen, but it won't happen long. We'll be under martial law, we're under martial law, the Constitution comes. You don't want any of that. You don't want any of that. None of you. But if you're willing to not lift the finger, if you're willing to sit back and be a spectator, then you will see this country go down. And when it goes down, it won't matter much what happens. That's that. When this country's gone, it won't matter. It won't matter. But I'll tell you this, it'll be generations from now before there'll be a generation that will be so starved, so deprived, that they might, in some generation in the future, they might literally have to fight to regain their freedom that we just gave away. Now that might happen.
Okay, we've got a couple other questions.
All right. Okay.
All right. I mean, you've kind of answered some of this, but it probably bears a little repetition. Will Trump and Barr crush the Democrats before they can start another narrative?
No. It will run in parallel with the Democrats. Democrats are going to start immediately, and as Trump and the conservatives in Washington start their investigations, the Democrats will be doing theirs, trying to counter it. They will go on simultaneous, one going on one way, one going the other. There'll be Democrats trying to prosecute Trump and the Republicans trying to expose who all was in on this thing. They will run concurrent.
Okay, another one. How can they impeach with no crime?
Because they can do anything in Congress they damn well want to do. Congress, as you should know, shall make all laws. And they've got one word that they can spin on, and they can say, only Congress can do this. Congress can say that the celestial stuff in the Mueller report that he put there on purpose, he didn't have to put that in. Some would say put it in for color, that's fine. He didn't have to put it in because actually it does cause more problems than the whole $35 million costs to resolve. If they don't, all they've got to do is use that word endeavor and slap their interpretation of what the law should mean around endeavor, and they can do anything they want to do. They can impeach him tomorrow with what's in the Mueller report. The Mueller knows that's why he did it the way he did it.
Which is exactly what you said he would do.
Which is exactly what I said he would do. Exactly.
So here's a comment that Trump needs to.
Bring it back and put it into proper perspective by saying what he said. He said they could not prove that he didn't commit obstruction of justice. he did not commit obstruction of justice. That's not what anybody can prove. They were supposed to prove either he did, and they couldn't. So therefore, the fact that they couldn't prove he didn't or he did, then he's guilty. Believe it or not.
Okay, somebody says, I'm tired of waiting over 2 years. Wow, the country is all still sleeping. So what's next? I think you answered that already.
I just told you what's next.
Okay, here's another comment.
Well, don't worry about the rest of the country. You worry about us. Are we going to wake up? Are we going to engage? Are we going to get this damn game finally? Because if we don't, it's over.
All right.
You say, well, what do you mean we got to engage? Hey, I've told you, the Republicans are the ones that had to act in Trump's defense or only in his behalf in Congress. You and I can't. Congress has got to do it. And we have got to be there without pressure using the only power we have. Once every 2 years, politicians are vulnerable. And that's now. We got to scare them. We got to be in a position with our phone calls to be ready to move and make these congressmen, the Republicans, do what they've got to do. And I fear if we don't do it, if we're not ready, they will pound down to the media and the pressure. They will. All right, what you got, man?
Somebody's claiming Trump will not be impeached. Let's hope President Trump calls out the Marines and hangs the traitors. The news media, Congress, Clinton's, Gitmo bound. Yeah. Let's hope President Trump calls out the Marines, hangs the traitors, the news media, traitors in Congress, the Clintons, Gitmo bound.
I'm sure that's simple, but it's not. I wish it were that simple, but it's not. Hello?
Yeah, well, I mean, people are agreeing with the person that says if they remove Trump, there will be war, and there are people agreeing with him, and that's the last comment.
You're cutting out. People are agreeing with there will be war, and people are agreeing what?
People are agreeing with the person that said if they take Trump out, that there will be war. So there's other people agreeing with that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you that believe that. I'm not trying to be ugly to you. I'm not. But who do you want to fight? Who's going to fight through in this war? Who's going to be fighting? Somebody send that in. Who is going to fight? Who? Who are you going to take your guns out and shoot? I got better practice that by saying this. The minute people start pulling them out like they're going to start shooting, then the police and the government, which is made up of good guys, are going to be forced to have to come out to try to stop them. You want to shoot them? Answer me. So many people that are saying that, answer me. Who are you going to shoot? Are you going to shoot at police?
All right, Fred, who are you going to shoot?
I'm just asking, guys. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to be rude. But we might as well deal with it. It's going to be brought up. Y'all going to hear it on the internet all over the place. Who is going to be shooting? And at who? Is it at who or at whom?
Whom with an M. Fred is saying if they remove Trump, a lot of people don't want to live under communism. But that's what's coming if Trump's gone.
Okay, but just assuming if Trump's gone, yes, you are right. Your name is Fred. Yes, you're right. And when Trump's gone, we will become a socialist/communist government. We'll have a socialist communist government. That's true. But having said that, tell me who we're going to pull out our guns and who are we going to shoot? I'm just asking. Somebody answer.
Nobody's answering. That's part of the problem. If you start shooting in the street, shooting at whom? You can't get to Congress to do anything with them because you got to go through the line where they'll see your metal if you're coming through with metal, and they'll confiscate it. They get to go underground where we don't have access to be able to get away.
And I don't mind telling you that people talking about if Trump gets impeached, there will be war, and people start bringing out their guns, and the internet will have more excuse to shut all the internet down to conservative speech. So I'm simply asking all of you, when you hear somebody saying these things, and I know they're being said, I know they're being said, but would you please, for me, would you ask them, just who in the hell's going to be shooting at who? Who is it? I don't know. I don't know. I know how it would go down. But the people that would be forced to come out to put down people getting their guns out with the intention of shooting somebody will be your neighbors and your family that are members of the police force or the National Guard.
And you've told us before that all they have to do is make a really strong example of a couple people and it'll all stop.
That'll happen very fast. There won't be much more talk of it, and I assure you somebody will be picked out of a crowd and they will prosecute them to the hilt. For what? For inciting riots, inciting criminal activity.
Even if they don't do that with the Antifa, they will certainly do it with the conservatives.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we've got somebody saying that would be anarchy. We cannot listen to warmongers. It is insanity to follow that line of thinking. Smart woman.
Yes. But now let me say to that lady that sent that, I understand the despair we're all feeling. I feel it too. But what's tough on Mary Ellen and I, and some of you that are with us, is so frustrating. Because we don't have to even be at this place. We don't have to let this become a reality. We can stop it now. We have been given a gift. From the prosecutorial side, Trump has been absolved. He's innocent. But from a political side, Mueller set him up. And Schiff and Nadler, those guys in Swalwell, trust me, they are going to go for the jugular. We have to be strong, you and I. And we've got to pick out any senator or congressman that's a Republican that's starting to get weak and backs off of doing what must be done in this offensive countermeasure. And when they start getting weak, we got to be on the phone and jam the phone lines up to that office until that guy knows, that person knows that if they don't stay on course with the offensive counteroffensive, that they're going home in November 2020 in a big way. For us to have the power we will have between now and November 2020, it is a shame. It's a crying shame. It's a power we will have, we have right now, and it gets more powerful as we get close to the election with these people in office, that we need to have our counteroffensive. You always hear in battles, right? There's an attack, and then you got to sit down and get ready for the counterattack. Right? It's now time for Trump and the conservatives, I may want to say Republicans, it's now time for Trump and the conservatives to counterattack. Trump can't do it on his own. He's got to have Congress. And they've got to be reinforced. They've got to be supported. And they've got to have the hell beat out of them if they start trying to back down. Don't you see the power we have? I've told you, I've spent years trying to convince you. The only thing these people care about is keeping their job. Let's use that on them. Let's use it on them. And let's make them do their job. Please, dear God in heaven. Look, I know I'm not worthy of your trust. I know I'm not worthy for you to spit on. I know that. But I don't know how many times I've got to show you, not tell you, show you that in this small little area of the world, politics and the war art of politics, I know what I'm doing. I know the game better than most all of you. Y'all may know some of it, but you don't know what I know. You can't know what I know. You haven't been there. It's not standing well that I have. But what value is what I know if you're not going to do anything with it? Huh? Is there something else I can do to prove to y'all my sincerity? Tell me what it is. Tell me. Don't let me just sit here and use the last breath I have. Just throwing it out to the wind. I don't think I can, Mary. I don't think I can just curl up, close myself in, and just sit back and say I tried and let it go and do nothing. I don't think I can do that. That's the curse I have. I can't do that. But that's a thing shouldn't need to keep up in my head up against the brick wall, trying to get others down. I don't know.
I want to say thank you. Hey, Larry, hang on. I want to say thank you to everybody who has participated in making phone calls in the past. I want to say thank you to everybody who has donated something to this effort by giving something to Larry for what he is doing. The workman is worthy of his hire. And I don't like hearing Larry say he's not worthy, because in my opinion, he is. He has the experience and the know-how to help us win this, but he cannot do it alone. We have to help. And I thank every one of you that has done something to pitch in. And I know there are people who are unemployed. I know there are people who are living on a very tiny fixed income that is less than you can survive on. I know that. But there has to be a way that you can let us know that you are all in. You will make phone calls. You will share on social media. You will do something to help this effort. And so I'm going to give you my text message phone number again, 240-499-6729. Text, let us know that you will help make phone calls when the time comes. It's coming soon. We don't know if it's going to be days, weeks, months still, but we are going to have to hold their feet to the fire as things get hot. And do your best to save your pennies until you can afford a t-shirt and get the t-shirt. If you can't afford the t-shirt, get the bumper sticker. It's $5. Put it on your car. If you cannot afford the $5, but you will put a bumper sticker on your car or put it on the tree in your front yard or on your mailbox, text me. I have a few that I will make sure you get one if you can't afford it. My number is 240-499-6729. The phone doesn't work well in my house for a call, but you can text that to that number. And yes, Rebecca, Larry does have a CD, and you can buy his CD. Underneath the video here is the link to where you can hear the demo of the CD. You can buy it at nicholslive.com. So,
I'm going to tell you something out there. I don't like doing this, but just to show you that there is stuff that you don't know about. I'm working with a lady named Ann. We'll say you want her name, and she's with what organization? My mind is just going blank.
Eagle Forum.
Eagle Forum, the national organization. They're going to help us get candidates. You know, we need 100 candidates running in the primary. I'm working with them. You know that? No, you didn't. Because I don't talk about it on the air. I'm trying to work with people to help us. How many of you think people in Washington, McConnell, and all of those people, words getting out about the socialism that we have to strike back? Part of our counteroffensive, the defensiveness, the key is making sure everybody in our side of the ledger, the base, comes base, that everybody knows that no matter what the Democrats throw at us, no matter what they try to do to Trump, no matter what they try to say in these campaigns for president, no matter what it is, it's all about socialism. You didn't know I was doing all of that because I don't tell you about it, because it's not something I'm going to talk about. What I do with other people, unless granted specific permission to talk about it, or I believe there is a reason to bring it out, I won't tell you. But I'm sure y'all think all I do is just come on here and talk. That's not true. Couldn't be farther from the truth.
one reason his voice is so strained when he comes on here is because of how much he is doing behind the scenes. Now, I don't know what that is, but when I talk to him, I find out that he's been on the phone. He doesn't tell me who he's on the phone with, but he's been busy.
Well, those are the things that are sort of weird that I don't just tell Mary Ellen everything. You should be able to see in today's world, with the media, with the Democrats, and everything that's going on in Washington. There are leaks everywhere. Leaks everywhere. And people don't talk to people about certain things. They're afraid they'll get exposed. So a lot of things are done, and you don't hear about it because people don't want it out. And if people don't want it out, I'll damn sure not put it out. At least they trust me that I won't put it out. When you show me any of these aggregators on the internet, people that run meetings, they've got sources on the inside telling them all this stuff. And yet, they tell you stuff and it don't happen. I think when I tell you stuff pound for pound, I think it has to look pretty long and hard time anybody's been more accurate about telling what's coming than me. That's not bragging, that's just hell, that's just fact. And I have to fight, Ellen has to fight. We have to deal with every day people coming to us with stories are getting on the internet where other people claim they've got sources in the White House, they got the generals, they got this, that, and the other. And it's so bizarre. But it's okay for you out there and say stuff like that. They get down with it. I guess it's okay for them to make those kind of claims and stuff up. I guess that's okay. What's bad is if you believe it. I'll give you another example. I was talking to a man. You would know who he was if I told you. He's on a case. And this person involved in the case, and I'm vague because of the people involved, this person in the case has represented that he wrote this high-level security manual for our national security program. That he really spread it all around that he did it. It just so happened that the guy interviewed the general in charge of that area, and when he interviewed him, he just asked. And as I had told him, which I didn't know anything, I just said that's crazy. But he actually asked the general that was actually over that stuff, and it's been put out everywhere, by the way. The general told him flatly, that's preposterous. Didn't happen. Didn't even know the guy. The guy didn't contribute one damn thing to any part of it, much less write the whole thing. It was totally bogus talk. And that was just one of the occasions when there was a way to find out that we found out the truth. Somebody was actually claiming they were doing that and spreading it all over the internet like they were somebody. And it's somebody that you probably listen to every once in a while, maybe a lot, and think they are somebody. They lied like a dog. Well, y'all quiet now. What have I done?
Nobody's typing anything. Everybody's listening. Maybe they're shocked.
Well, I came over here today to tell you the truth about what's going to happen, and I have told you exactly what's going to happen. And I feel like it's okay for me to tell you that since I told you that exactly what happened today is going to happen, and it did. And we can either make this a victory, and we can take it and use it as a step to save this country, or we can sit back and continue just to sit out on the tide and watch this country go down the damn drain. What do you want? Damn it, somebody send something in. Tell me what you're thinking.
Somebody's asking, what do you think about Julian Assange?
Unfortunately, I gotta say, I don't know. I told you before. One side, I don't like what he did. It's not safe for our national security secrets for somebody to be able to hack in and get some of our most sensitive secrets. We know what he put out, but we have no idea what he gained that he didn't put out, or maybe even could have sold to some enemy country. So I don't like that. On the other side is the fact that he did bring out some of this stuff, but some of this was exposed in the first place. So is he a hero? Is he a villain? I don't know. I don't know. What I do is just use what we got. But I find it incredible to believe that Julian Assange, one man, up here, whatever, could find one level soldier like that person that changed his sex to a female, and they was able to obtain all of this kind of information. If he could do it that easy, dear God in heaven, what about China? What about Russia? What about Iraq? What about our enemies?
I heard somebody say today, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard somebody say today that WikiLeaks is actually a Chinese company.
Wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it a bit. I don't personally believe it, but I wouldn't doubt it. The reason I wouldn't personally believe it is because I don't think if they were a Chinese company, there's no way in hell they would have worked something that could have hurt Hillary's chances of being president. They were all in for Hillary to be president. They funneled millions and millions and millions of dollars into her campaign.
One more question. What do you make of all the attacks on the Catholic churches worldwide?
That is one part Islam, and the other part Scripture. The Catholic Church around the world, for those of you that have not traveled in any other countries, Catholic Church, although here in America some don't say it is, but in other parts of the world, the Catholic Church is kind of the representative figure. They're the Empire State Building for Christianity. And so these attacks on these Catholic churches is an attack on Christianity. That's not. They want to eliminate Christianity from the face of the earth, and all of us that believe in it. The other part, which is Scripture, it is foretold in the Bible. I'm not going to get the right words because I don't know them. Anybody that follows Jesus, the world's going to hate. Therefore, we can expect, in accordance with the Bible, if I'm saying this wrong or incorrect, we can expect, in accordance with the Bible, that we as Christians are going to be hated.
That's exactly correct. So they're attacking the building to give a message to us, right?
Yes. Just remember that. Here in America, since we have an open religious community, we usually have an open religious community, here everybody's not Catholic. So when you talk about Christianity, Christianity is not single source being a Catholic. You can be a Protestant, you can be a Methodist, you can be a utensil or whatever, Episcopalians or something like that. Philippines or somehow what you call all these different ones, but whatever it is, it could be all these different things. But around the world, in lesser developed countries, especially in the world of religion, they look at the Catholic Church as the symbol of Christianity. And that's what they're attacking. Just like they did the World Trade Center. They saw it as a symbol of America. And that's why they hit it. Destroyed it.
One more question.
Yes.
Is it not time to abolish the UN?
Been that time for a long time. Now we should not be in the United Nations. But I don't know right now. Our government has become so shut down in kind, I'm using kind words. Our government is so shut down with polarization now that we're not going to do anything that's right because it will be stopped and blocked some way. Anything good for America, to show you how far down we have come, anything good for America that President Donald Trump is trying to do, albeit there's bad stuff about him, fine, that's what you believe, fine, but you would seem to think if there was something that was good for America that everybody can acknowledge is good for America, something we should do. You would think our government could come together enough to at least do those things, but it can't. It's the kiss of death for President Trump to identify anything. Anything that's good for this country, if he identifies it, even though 2 years ago the Democrats were all in it, if he identifies it today, so help me God, they will stop it and block it. You want proof of that? Look at the southern border. It was only 4 to 6 years ago when every one of these Democrats that are saying they want open borders was crying to the top of their lungs, and we had to have the wall. We had to stop it. And yes, that was Obama. Yes, that was Pelosi. Yes, that was Schumer. Yes, that was Nadler. Yes, that was Schiff. That was all of them. And today, you would think that couldn't have been them. That was some other person. Simply because they want to hurt Trump. And they want to hurt Trump so much, they're willing to destroy America to do it. And boys and girls, I resent that. I resent that all the way to the deepest part of my soul. But we're dysfunctional. Our government is dysfunctional. And the bad news about being dysfunctional, besides the fact we're not doing the things that must be done to help America, and the dysfunctional government is playing right into the hands of those people that are willing to dissolve the Constitution and set up a new form of government. And I don't mind telling you, with the way we have become so dysfunctional, they've got a pretty good case right now. The only problem I have is there's no other form of government that I can see that I would rather have than our representative, constitutional representative form of government. There's not. They want socialism. I don't.
Well, like you say very often, the problem isn't our form of government. The problem is the people who are supposed to be following it and don't.
God, you almost got it down. For some reason today, I feel bad that I've done something. I don't know what I've done. You're quiet. You're not talking. If I've offended you, I'm sorry. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. If I offended you, and you deserve it, I meant to. If you are trying, in your heart of hearts, you know you're trying, and you're actually going outside of sitting and listening, I owe you an apology. But the time for sitting back is over. It's over. And we're going to go forward with this. We are. And I need you. I need every one of you. But I can't make you. But I can tell you this in closing. And you can write this down. And you can work it out on your computer. You can use longhand math. You can do anything you want to do to try to say I'm wrong. Figure out a way to prove to yourself I'm wrong. But I want to tell you this in conclusion. If you think you're going to sit back and do nothing and get by with it, you're wrong. If you do nothing, you are doing something. You might as well go ahead and vote Democratic. You might as well go ahead and join the socialist movement. If you're not going to do anything, go on and join them, because you have. Maybe in your heart you haven't, but in your deeds you have. They say the road to hell's paved with good intentions. Well, I assure you, we are on the road straight to hell. But it's your deeds. It's your deeds that will be measured in the end. But if you don't do anything, just know this. You did. You did. You joined the other side. Mary Ellen, you got anything to add?
No, there are a couple other questions, but they're totally off topic, and I think that's enough for today. Well, here's a comment first. Larry, we're mad, not at you. We're mad at the state of the republic. And thank you, Donald. We agree with you. And then there's some couple questions about the climate change, climate hoax, what you think about that, global warming, do you believe in it? Who started it?
Well, who started it, I believe, goes to Al Gore. Now, he probably didn't start it, but he was the first one that put it on the scoreboard. Being significant issue. But I don't believe it. And even if I did believe it, there's nothing we can do in America. We can do everything in America that we want to do. We can cut back on everything. Cut our carbon emissions. We're just one piece of the puzzle of all the nations on Earth that are throwing crap up into the atmosphere. We're just one piece. We alone can't do it. And no, we're not going to die in 12 years. This world's not going to, it may end in 12 years. I'm not saying it won't. It's not going to be because he didn't do something having to do with climate change. What's the other, Miriam?
That was it.
I'm sorry.
That's all.
Okay, you got anything to close with?
Folks, if there's any way you can give anything, any amount at all, Larry's PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. If you want to do something for Larry and can't do PayPal, please send me a text message, 240-499-6729. And as soon as we get done here, I'll put that number underneath the video.
And I know it won't matter, y'all. But I do have a routine. Things I've got to deal with, considering relative health, and I need your help. I do. I wish you would, if you can. And with that, folks, we'll be back here as long as Lord willing and I'm able. But think about the things I talked about today, please. And measure it out for yourself. Think out your place where you stand. Draw your line. There's got to be a line which you say, hey, you can't take anymore. This is it. You're not going any further. You've been there with me for a long time. And for all of those of you that have money that are sitting back and holding on to your money, I'm going to tell you straight up, you may be brilliant, and that's why you have money. You may be the smartest thing in your industry or whatever it is you did to make the money. You may be smarter than anybody else, and I'm certainly not equal anywhere near as smart as you are. But I can tell you this, when this country goes socialist, the first thing they'll do is nationalize the banks. When they do, you'll lose every damn cent you got that you're setting back. Use it now, some of it, to save your country. Because if you don't, you'll lose it all. Don't believe me. Go back and look at all these other countries that don't do the same things we're going through right now. And they didn't stop it. With that, folks, till tomorrow. Have a good day.
Oh, hang on a sec.